Lesson 22. We continue reading from the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, chapter 2. And we have arrived at Sutra 39. Why do we make this jump from Sutra 10, or Sutra 20, we just finished, to Sutra 39? In between is the subject of Kriya, which we have dealt with already as a preparation for Pranayama. So Sutra 21 to 36 or 38 we have read already, and we have practiced those Kriya exercises. So Sutra 39 of chapter 2. Even Brahma and the other gods devoted themselves to the practice of pranayama because of the fear of death. So one should practice control of energy. Two things here. Death is not literally death. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it before. When a yoga text mentions death, it's not physical death, it's the condition of tamas that majority of people are in. The lack of vital energy, the death of the spirit, the crown chakra. Then why Brahma? Brahma is God. And the other gods, why are they practicing pranayama? This is a symbolical way to indicate that pranayama is a significant exercise that is important. Ancient people didn't believe anything unless you say, but it's given by God. It is divine. Then people are in awe and they realize they're looking at something important. That's all that this sutra means. People who do not understand this or take this literal, they think that if you practice yoga in general and pranayama in particular, can lead to eternal life. And that is of course nonsense. Nobody gets, the oldest person that we know is probably under 20 or so, which is extreme, but much older than that is just not possible. Yoga or no yoga. Sutra 40, so long as the energy is restrained in the body, so long the mind is calm and steady, so long as the vision is directed to the center of the eyebrows, why should there be fear of death? This is all about the crown chakra. The energy restrained in the body is the stopping scattering energy, which is for a large part, mental activity is responsible for the loss of energy, and as a result of that, declining health. So as long as the mind is calm and steady, you're focused. The vision directed to the center of the eyebrows. When the class is larger, and many people do not hear nada when I introduce it at the beginning of the course, I give them an alternative to help them focus until they can hear nada. And the alternative is to focus on the point between the eyebrows. It is called the third eye. But what happens if you push a little bit hard with your fingertip, you leave an impression there, you put your hands on your knees and you concentrate on that impression, that feeling, it helps you to focus and it leads you to start hearing nada. So it's referring to the condition in which you are focused. It's an extension of Sutra 39 to bring home the message that pranayama is important. The fear of death is, of course, the crown chakra, the vital energy that is required, that is important for the functioning of the crown chakra and all its wonderful characteristics. Sutra 41. When the Nadi chakra has been purified by a properly regulated course of pranayama, the energy forces open the mouth of the Sushumna and easily enter it. Yoga practice leads to increased energy circulation. When energy accelerates, it bumps into any existing obstacles in the energy channels, and with time, those obstacles will be what we call purified. They will be removed as a result. Clearing the way, basically, for the phenomenon where Sushumna Nadi, the Sushumna Nadi phenomenon occurs, where energy rises up and starts fueling the crown chakra. We're talking here about yoga, but it's not only yoga that leads to this. If you live a relatively healthy life, in which you not only take care of your physical health with good nutrition and exercise, but also where you have a pretty good balance between activity and rest, that condition actually occurs naturally. We use yoga as a powerful tool to bring that condition about. It's very systematic and as a result of that very effective. But if you create the right circumstances, that's also yoga. Yoga is not just what you do on your yoga mat or in your studio. Yoga is life. And you can design life in such a way that it will facilitate it brings about the conditions that are required for spiritual life or the functioning of the crown chakra, here called the mouth of the Sushumna being forced open as a result of the purification of the Nadi chakra. Nadi chakra is the whole energy system, basically, all the chakras and energy channels together. 42. When the energy flows through the Sushumna, the mind becomes steady. This steadiness of the mind is the state called Manonmani or Unmani. Very interesting. The healthier you are, the calmer the mind becomes. The unhealthier you are, the more restless people become. They go together. The steadiness of the mind is the state called Manonmani, Unmani. Unmani is that 3-syllable mantra that is associated with the crown chakra. So it's directly referring to that condition where the crown chakra is active. 43. To attain it, those who know the procedure practice various sorts of kumbhakas. By practice of the various kumbhakas, diverse siddhis are obtained. To attain it is the condition where the crown chakra is fueled. Those who know the procedure is people who are properly initiated by somebody who is knowledgeable about how all this works, the secrets in yoga, who is initiated into the secrets in yoga and initiates you into those. They practice the various sort of kumbhakas which are mentioned in the next sutra. As a result, diverse siddhis are obtained, the supernatural and paranormal abilities that are actually not so supernatural, that are actually quite normal and natural. Sutra 44, the different kumbhakas are now described. There are 8 kumbhakas, namely Surya Bedana, Ujjayi, Shitkari, Shitali, Bashtri, Bashtrika, Brahmari, Murcha, and Plavini. In this course, after Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, you will learn 4 of those, Surya Bedana, Ujjayi, Shitkari, and Shitali. If we're going to have an advanced course after the summer, if there are enough people interested in doing so, you will learn the other 4 as well. Sutra 45. At the end of influx, Puraka, the Jalandhara Bandha should be practiced. At the end of Kumbhaka and at the beginning of efflux, Uddiyana Bandha should be practiced. This is a little bit confusing and making things complicated. I asked Ajita, and Ajita asked his mentors, and the truth is that the 3 bandhas are practiced together only in the stage of the Kumbhaka, so not during the inflow or the outflow. Otherwise it becomes complicated and distracting. 46. Contracting the throat in the Jalandhara Bandha and the anus in the Mula Bandha at the same time, and drawing back the abdomen in the Uddiyana Bandha, the energy flows through the Sushumna, Brahmanadi, or the Sushumna or the Brahmana. The Brahma is God, the divine energy channel, referring again directly to the crown chakra. It is important to put some nuance in this text. Last week I already explained when we learned the pranayama and the bandhas, that the bandhas are actually subtle, while the text suggests that it is a gross engagement of the muscles. Like the throat should be strongly engaged, and the pelvic bottom muscles should be strongly engaged, and the abdomen should be pulled back. The bandhas actually, I explained last week also, are already happening before we know it. Because you notice when you meditate, when you're really focused on nada, you become naturally very straight. The more intense your meditation is, the straighter your spine becomes. And you know, if you pay attention, you notice that the spine becomes straight because the pelvis tilts forward. The pelvic bottom muscles are engaged, but not in a gross way, in a subtle way. Most people don't notice or are not aware of that. The throat also is engaged because you're being pulled up by the crown. So you naturally stretch up the neck and tuck in the chin, not in a gross way, again, but in a subtle way. And the abdomen naturally pull back. This also means that when you are physically healthy with a straight upper body, it is much more likely that the condition where the crown chakra is fueled, where spirituality naturally occurs, is much more likely. So you can find spirituality in many people who've never seen a yoga studio from the inside, or any other spiritual practice for that matter. On the other hand, you can also find many people who go to spiritual places who have no idea what spirituality really means, because their crown chakra simply is not functioning. (47) and the last one for now. Raising the apana upwards by contracting the anus. You can ignore that part in between square brackets. So raising the apana upwards, the prana should be brought downwards from the throat. The yogin then becomes a youth of 16, freed from old age. Apana prana is the prana from the lowest chakra. So it's the prana that we equate with Kundalini energy, Shakti going up. The other prana is the prana from the throat chakra, which is the chakra is the center of eternal youth. And the process that is described here is both of these energies presence in abundance leads to a phenomenon where they meet at the level of the heart chakra, leading to not only spiritual life, but opening up of the heart chakra, and also symbolically described here as the yogin becoming a youth of 16 freed from old age. Excellent health occurring as a result of this conditioning. Questions? No. We stop here because Sutra 48 introduces the first pranayama that comes after Nadi Shodhana. We will repeat Nadi Shodhana for a couple of weeks until we have repeated it 12 times. And then we will introduce Surya Bedana Pranayama at Sutra 48. Okay?